Have the what I would call the Crawford Park usage report for you. I will tip you off. Usage is seeing a significant drop. A large part of it, frankly, was due to the storm back in March, where we had to close the park for a week. We have since been working very hard in terms of trying to clean up the park. There are still about 4 or 5 large trees that are down. They are in areas that are wet. We can't get equipment in there without causing even more damage. But we should have everything in the park cleaned up in about the next 2 to 3 weeks.
What we had stimulus monies for that.
Well, I was going to get to that in a second. I just wanted to finish. We have been aggressive at doing some other things in the park during this time frame. We have more or less finished the resanding of the floors on the main level of the mansion. They are getting their last 2 coats of finish on Thursday. We repainted the front section of the mansion, basically the entrance section. Along with the Friends of Crawford Park, we've re-landscaped the front entrance. And we are finishing up the library. The painting has actually been completed. We're just waiting for the wall covering to arrive, and the wall covering will be installed in the next 2 weeks. So there's been a substantial, how can I call it, facelift to the mansion, and it was like any other home renovation. Once we fixed the kitchen, all of a sudden all the other rooms started to look a little shabby. So the kitchen floor was a great hit. Our staff put that in, and we just kept on going in terms of trying to fix up and make that mansion look a lot nicer.
Well, I want to thank our town staff because they really took a lot of initiative to make that happen. I think, wasn't Councilwoman Mendocino, weren't you supervising all that?
I was the project manager.
Project manager.
So
I want to thank
right.
Councilwoman Mendocino for taking her feminine touch and making the mansion look just that much
nicer.
nicer.
See the wallpaper because I'm a little iffy on the green right now. I don't know where that color came from, but
well, again, as I mentioned to you, that was large part. There were several discussions with the Friends of Crawford Park and so forth. There was a desire to keep a certain turn of the century feel, etc. I think once the wall covering is up, I think it will pull it together quite nicely.
I agree.
Actually, let me just take 2 seconds while I'm thinking of, before I forget, our Rye 350 celebrations at Crawford Park are going to take place the Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day weekend, whatever dates those are. So it's the Thursday and Friday. This is our flashback celebration. It's only 100 people, only 100 tickets. And we recently had a function at Rye-Town Park celebrating Rye 350. And for those of you who had a chance to come, it was, thank you, Golda. That was a spectacular event.
That'd be the 27th and 28th.
27th and 28th. So the first 2 plays of flashbacks. This is Camille Lennon, who's done, she and her family have done every play in the Rye-Town community really for the last three or four decades. And it's an original play that she and her sister have developed, and it tracing the history of Rye-Town. We're really excited about that. And then the second dates are June 29th, Goldie, which is an important date, you know, and June 30th, because June 29th is the exact date of the founding of the town of Rye 350 years ago. So the other 2 dates that are in the book are June 29th and June 30th. And I think we're going to have the June 29th as the gala event. I think we're going to be pricing this, and the gala event, we're talking about autographed copies of the original play. Costs a little more to come on the gala event night, but Paul, did you get autographed copies of the original play? Videos of the original play, and so this will be worse on them when this play hits Broadway. You're gonna, so I just June 29th, circle that date because we only have 100 tickets. If you're looking for a Mother's Day gift, there's nothing better than this Valentine's Day, the gala event. So anyway, just keep those dates in mind. Sorry. Sorry.
That's right.
All at Crawford Park, which is what made me think of it.
Mr. Supervisor, you asked about stimulus funds. I think the proper term here is FEMA funds, or the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Westchester County last week announced that they had officially qualified this particular storm, March 14th, March 15th, and that this area qualified for some FEMA assistance. Westchester County has scheduled a special information session for the municipalities. I'm planning on going. That's this coming Thursday, the 29th. So it'll be held at the Westchester County Center. The FEMA people will be there, and they will help explain to all the local officials exactly how they can apply, what they can apply for, and what the various deadlines and so forth are. So we're going to be on top of that. I want to just kind of reel you back in from a financial standpoint and make sure that everybody understands what's at stake here. We have spent over $50,000, and the number still climbs, just for tree removal in Crawford Park. We had very, very little damage at Rytown Park as it relates to trees. But in Crawford Park, we're over $50,000 already in terms of what we spent. And we haven't finished. We still have a few trees that...
So how much do you think we can get back?
Well, FEMA typically is a 75% payoff. So what you qualify for, and again, the question is will all these things qualify? But what you qualify for, you could be entitled to 75% of that money from FEMA. So that will go a long way toward getting us whole, if you will.
And what's the timing on those monies, do you know?
Well, we don't know. I spoke to Mr. Altieri. He is the town administrator in Mamaroneck. He's got some, fairly extensive experience with the flooding and everything else. He said that typically, from the time you file your application, it is 6 to 9 months. It's the equivalent of having a baby, more or less, before you actually see the money in your hand. Sometimes it's a little quicker, but typically that's the norm.
Okay.
All right, and again, it's not just Crawford Park. Understand that our real damage at Rytown Park was the erosion of the beach. We're estimating at this particular point we won't start our beach regrading until about another week or so, but we think that we've lost upwards of about 1,000 to maybe 15, somewhere in between there, 1,000 to 1,500 tons of beach sand. All right, that's the equivalent of 50 to 75 trailer loads of beach sand. That alone could be a $100,000 expense. We're not sure what the real thing is until we get the people in there to regrade the beach. Only then will we see the extent. But if you look at the seawall and you see how far the sand has eroded, for example, the seawall by Dearborn, a large portion of that base bulkhead has been exposed that you couldn't see before. So our feeling here is that although we can't quantify it right now, it is going to be a significant loss. So we're going to include that, and like anything else, sometimes you don't find out things until a little bit later. I know that Tom Nardi, Superintendent of Highways, is going to bring up a little bit more information, but the South Barry Bridge that the town, I think, repaired back about 5 or 6 years ago, we were notified again by the village of Mamaroneck. At low tide, you can see where the bulkhead wall has deteriorated, and we have a preliminary engineer's report we just received today. We haven't had a chance to really look at it, and Superintendent Nardi can explain a little bit more. But it appears that there's significant deterioration there. I can't begin to tell you how much money that could cost.
Well, when you're looking into all of this, you can look into the history of the work that was done and see if there's any guarantees, subject to contracts for us, please.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what our intention is. I know the bridge was only just installed or repaired, about 5 years ago or so, so there should be some kind of warranties that are in existence. Again, we weren't here at that time, so we're going to try and dig up that information.
I have a question in regards, is it, other than those trees down below where you can't get the equipment to, why are we still cutting down trees in the park?
Well,